Good afternoon. My name is Edward Oberholtzer. I'm the resident priest here at the Joseph Priestley Zen Sangha in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, deep in the heart of Appalachia. We're an affiliate of Empty Moon Zen. A friend of mine was and is editor at Wisdom Publications, and a number of years ago, when they had published the translation entitled Dogen's Extensive Record, he took to referring to it as Dogen's Expensive Record, in honor of its ponderous size and cost. These are Dogen's collected addresses to his assembly, entitled the Ehe Koroku, and happily are indexed by date. So, on April 25th, 1248, the closest I could come to today's date, Dogen said, "On this, the 11th day of the summer practice period, what are you doing inside the monk's hall? Everyone, I ask what you will say. If you do not speak, Ehe will speak for all of you." After a pause, Dogen said, "In the early morning we eat gruel. At midday rice. When the wooden sounding board is struck, we just sit zazen. When we open our quilts, we just sleep." So simple. Just something to do. Eat, sit, sleep. And yet, I spend an inordinate amount of time here on the Zafu wondering, am I alive or dead? Just what does it mean to be conscious? Can I make choices? What does karma mean if there is no free will? Is there free will? What is it like to be my cat? So I have obviously issues with Buddhism, with the precepts, with karma, with the hierarchy of beings that Buddhism lays out: hungry ghosts, hell beings, animals, humans, devas, gods. Martin Luther laid out his beliefs and is reputed to have said, "Here I stand, I can do no other." Well, here I sit, and I can do no other. Beliefs are another matter. And where do I begin? There are real advantages to disagreeing with what seem to be the major tenets of Buddhism. The central authority which passes judgments on my beliefs conveniently does not exist. So for the most part, I have only myself to question whether what I think makes any sense. The Gateless Gate examines what happened when someone tried just such an appeal to authority in Case 32, entitled "The Buddha Responds to an Outsider." An outsider asked the world-honored one, "I do not ask for the spoken. I do not ask for the unspoken." The world-honored one just sat still. The outsider praised him, saying, "The world-honored one, with his great compassion and mercy, has opened the clouds of my delusion and enabled me to enter the way." He then made bows and took his leave. Ananda asked, "What did that outsider realize to make him praise you?" The world-honored one said, "He is like the fine horse who runs even at the shadow of the whip." Now, I recall hearing a similar story involving a philosopher plagued by the sorts of questions that bother me, by the sorts of metaphysical questions that can torment an idle mind. Again, the Buddha responded with what has come to be known as noble silence. And the effect can be like that of Alexander the Great's sword when Alexander was presented with the untieable Gordian's knot and, without hesitation, simply cut it in half. There are more important things in our short lives than wondering how to untie a fiendishly complex knot, than speculating on an afterlife or the existence of a god. Try to reason your way through a koan and be grateful, or not, that most of us no longer beat you with a stick when you do that. Wittgenstein tells us, what we cannot speak about, we must pass over in silence. But this is not the silence of a Buddha who did not know how to respond. The silence was the response, and was not disdain for philosophy on the Buddha's part. Rather, it indicates that he viewed those questions as not leading to true knowledge. Emily Dickinson knew the deep, abiding stillness of silence, as well as that source of all the 10,000 grasses, the myriad things. Silence is all we dread. There's ransom in a voice, but silence is infinity. Himself have not a face. In the Sutta Nipata, the Buddha said, learn this from the waters. In mountain clefts and chasms loud gush the streamlets, but great rivers flow silently. Empty things make a noise, while the full is always quiet. The fool is like a half-filled pot, the wise person like a deep, still pool. Thomas Merton, that companion of ours on the way, wrote and gave us a poem entitled In Silence. Be still. Listen to the stones of the wall. Be silent. They try to speak your name. Listen to the living walls. Who are you? Who are you? Whose silence are you? Who, be quiet, are you as these stones are quiet? Do not think of what you are, still less of what you may one day be. Rather, be what you are. But who? Be the unthinkable one you do not know. Oh, be still while you're still alive, and all things live around you, speaking, I do not hear, to your own being, speaking by the unknown that is in you and in themselves. I will try like them to be my own silence. And this is difficult. The whole world is secretly on fire. The stones burn. Even the stones, they burn me. How can a man be still or listen to all things burning? How can he dare to sit with them when all their silence is on fire? Wuman caps off his case of the outsider and the Buddha with a rather athletic call. Walking along the edge of a sword, running along the ridge of an iceberg, no steps, no ladders, jumping from the cliff with hands open. There's no need to run or jump. Follow Dogen. Be silent. Sit, eat gruel and rice, and at night pull up that quilt and go to sleep.